Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And this is for the week of August 1st, 2017. Now, the big news this week is that many people have been proxying for other people. What does that mean? Well, that means that when you do your brain balance testing, you get a really odd result. Now, I have another video on my YouTube channel about how to test your own brain balance, using self-muscle testing. So I'm just going to demonstrate it real quick here. But proxying means that you're taking on the energies of another person. Now, interestingly, it's possible that you in this timeline is not proxying and taking on another person's stuff, but your alternate timeline is. So say in an alternate timeline, you are a very sensitive earth angel extraterrestrial, and you happen to have a soul destiny partner, or say it's a whole planet, and you are responsible for healing that planet. Suddenly, with ascension comes increased sensitivity, and now your current timeline can feel your other timelines proxying for this planet. Now, it may be appropriate or it may not be appropriate for that other timeline to be actually proxying and taking that energy on. For a very long time, I was proxying for Mother Earth, and that was appropriate and needed and so on and so forth, but more recently, it's not necessary. So there's a difference between being able to heal and help your soul destiny partner, but a whole other thing to actually have to proxy for them and be them energetically. In the emotion code and body code, we actually purposely proxy for someone when we do the muscle testing, and so that we can tap into their subconscious minds and see what's going on, if there's trapped emotions, etc. And then after we finish the session, we actually release the proxy, so we're back to ourselves, and that other person, has their energies to process. But when you auto proxy for someone, that means you don't even know that you're becoming them, or at least energetically dealing with their stuff. So this week, people's brain balance has been really off, and the number one symptom I would say this week is weird and sudden pains, like glitch in the neck, glitch in the back, painful stomach, painful shoulder. It seems like either out of the blue or something that's really, really old that's been pretty good for a while has suddenly come back. So those are some of the signs that might be an issue. Also, we have found, myself included and my husband James included, that we are requiring a lot more minerals this week, so almost double what I was needing last week and the weeks before. So I always check with mineral levels how happy they are, and we want them close to 100% happy. If they're not 100% happy, I ask, how well are they processing? How well am I able to absorb, assimilate, and utilize my minerals? Okay, those should all be 100%. In this week, this case, it was 100% for both of us. However, we just needed more minerals. So when I asked why, it was because we were detoxing rapidly. So rapid healing. So when you detox rapidly, guess what? You use up your minerals faster, so we need to take in more minerals. So there are several supplements I really like and recommend, but I also, with one-on-one sessions, I recommend and muscle test which one is best for that person. But my go-tos are Mineral Force by Dr. Stephen Davis. It's NeutraLinkEnergy.com. So Mineral Force and Mag Force, those are my two, and I do those every single day, and I put them in my smoothie. I put them in my husband's smoothie. They're ionic minerals fortified with subtle energies, thanks to Dr. Yuri Krohn from Energy Tools International. So they do a lot more than just give you minerals. They give you frequencies of multiple other things too. So that's my number one. Vitality Boost is another one that I really like as well, that has some fulvic acid in it, and so I'll muscle test people for Vitality Boost. Now those are all both liquid minerals, but those two are my favorite. But of course you can muscle test yourself to see which mineral supplement is the best for you. Some people think that they have a multivitamin, that's enough. Actually, you have to make sure you have a multivitamin mineral formula. The minerals are the most important, at least this week. So I've actually, once you figure out that you're proxying for someone, then you can actually then make a correction. Now, in muscle testing, what we normally do is, I like to use the flick test. So for me, I, go to the source point or the grace point, and we now command to be completely connected 100% to the one and only true source now. So we do that first, get grounded, get our spirit in the body. Then we do our muscle testing. So I'll do a pre-check. The pre-check is show me a yes, we should get a strong response. Show me a no, we should get a weak response. Okay, that's the pre-check number 1. So yes is a yes, it should be strong. No is in my case, a weak. So that's a no for me. The other pre-check we can do is your name. Now here's how you can tell if you're not yourself, is when you say your name, it lets go and you get a no response. Okay, so do the pre-check first. Yes should be strong, no should be weak, and you say my name is, in my case, Karen. Well, I'm getting a strong right now, but the other day I got a weak, and therefore I knew that I was proxying for someone. So that's kind of the easy way to do it, and you can kind of guess around and see who you're proxying for. Now for me, it was my alternate self was proxying for Mother Earth. So you may have to do some extra questioning. Of course, we have our light warriors do this kind of work, especially my light warrior VIP. Shout out to you guys, you awesome group of folks. You're so awesome. So they know how to do all this and check in, who they might be proxying for, their alternate selves, etc. The other way you can do is check your brain balance. If you get yeses yes, no's no, you go ahead and do the testing with your right hand over the right ear. In my case, it's strong. Left hand, okay, it's strong. Left hand over left ear, and then my hand's going to go right over my belly button, right the palm. And again, I'm strong right now, so I'm brain balanced. But let me show you what it would look like if I was proxying for someone. So I would go here, and it would release, weak. Okay, I would go here. Now, normally, if you're weak on one side, you're strong on the other. But in this case, if you're proxying for someone, you would be weak on both sides and normally strong on the belly button. Okay, that's your typical I'm proxying for someone signal. Weak, strong. Okay, so that is uncommon, but we've had some people proxying for other people for decades. Oftentimes if there's a ghost attached, or they had some sort of accident in the hospital, and they're feeling other people's stuff for that long, they haven't been well for a while, that can happen. But this past week, definitely a lot of people have been proxying for others. So if you felt funky, unwell, not yourself, well, you very well could be not yourself this week. So either check your brain balance or use the self-muscle testing and see if you are someone else. And then, so what do you do if you're proxying for someone else? Well, first of all, you can ask if that's appropriate and for the highest good, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, etc. And these days, it's probably not going to be a yes, but you never know. Then there's more questions you can ask after that. But most of the time, it's going to be no. That's not for your highest and greatest good to proxy. Remember, this happened because you increase your sensitivity due to ascension. So what you want to do is, if you have my ascension 2, you want to play the ascension 2. If you have my deep healing 1, 2, 3, and 4 from my second package, go ahead and play either 2 or 4, and then go ahead and focus on the intention of restoring all boundaries to everything and everyone, including your alternate soul destiny partners and your alternate selves, to 100% in all timelines and all dimensions, and that you stop, in all versions of you, stop proxying for others unless it's for your personal highest and greatest good. And that should do it, and that should stop the proxying. You should be back to yourself, and you may have to reset some systems and things like that. Again, the MP3s will help you do that naturally. There's also the instructions for the God team to keep your firewalls up, your boundaries restored every time we have an ascension upgrade, get your systems up and running again. So if you have not listened to the deep healings or the ascension 2, in this case, you definitely want to do that on a regular basis, and you can intend those just to make that a little faster for yourself. Now, we talked about increased sensitivity, right? Well, I've discovered there's actually 4 things that happen during each ascension cycle. So I'm going to briefly just share with you what I've discovered. Number 1 is that one tends to increase one's sensitivity and empathic nature, even if you're not an empath anymore. This is a natural part of the ascension. The second thing that happens after that is that we tend to, because we're ascending these high vibrational energies, these energies tend to come up. So when they come up, sometimes you don't feel as grounded. Sometimes it gets stuck in the neck area. It is kind of narrow there, right? So we need to ground. So sometimes I'll get neck glitches and I just realize I need to do some more grounding. So that's when we kind of ground the new energies in and ground them into our physical body. So sensitivity is number one. Losing grounding is the other thing that can happen. The third thing is ascension resistance. This usually comes in the form of entities or hidden entities, either attached to people, ETs, electronics, things like that. It's like when we get opened up our awareness to higher dimensions, their awareness gets opened up to us as well. And so then we end up clearing, those higher dimensions as well. So that, you just expect that might happen. So I get the alert usually because there's something, funky going on with the computer and things like that. And I know my computers and all my systems are protected by the universal shield. So it's usually a signal to me that something else is going on in other parts of the world or universe. And then I correct that, then the computer's all fine. So sometimes I just have to do, several days or even sometimes 2 weeks of ascension resistance work, clearing, and then we're good to go until the next cycle. And then the fourth thing that happens is an integration period. So the integration period is when the energies get integrated physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, dimensionally in you, and some people can have some symptoms during that time. We're going to go actually in really a lot of detail on the kind of symptoms that can occur at each of these stages during the Light Warrior Advanced Healing Program Module 7. So the live Module 7 is going to be this Saturday, and so if you have bought my package, we'll be going through that and you can ask your questions then. But I just wanted to give everyone kind of a sneak peek as to what's going on. These things go over and over, so don't be surprised when that happens. So we talked about brain balance testing, proxying for your soul destiny partner, and the last thing I wanted to share with you is that on Monday, Dr. Dennis Lobstein and I are going to be talking about LifeWave phototherapy patches to help support people suffering from pelvic pain, whether that is, sexual pain or pain with periods, that kind of thing. So he's going to share with us some protocols that we can use with the patches to help release some of that pain. All right, so that's it for this week, and we'll post some links down below in the YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to connecting with you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below, and feel free to comment. Love you all. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.